Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Frisco LRST, and today I'm going to be changing out the stock tail light and turn signals on my 2022 Lowrider ST. So I'm getting rid of the stock tail light base, signals, and actual tail light itself. Today I'm going to be installing a MOONSMC version 3 integrated tail light with turn signals. I'm going to be going with their replacement tail light base in black. It's got the built-in circuit board, and I've also got a wiring harness for the M8s. And what this is going to do is replace the stock wiring harness for the taillight and turn signal assembly. And we'll go ahead and get that going, so hang tight. Shout out to Tommy at Moons. They're always hooking you up with stickers. Threw a koozie in there. It's got an instruction sheet, and this is the version 3 taillight, and I went with the smoked finish. It's a low profile, and it's got the integrated turn signals. First thing you're going to want to do as good practice is just go ahead and unplug your main fuse. For those of you who don't know, that's underneath your left side cover. And to do that, you just take your 532 Allens and remove the side cover and unplug the 40 amp main fuse. Go ahead and pop your side cover off. And your main fuse is going to be inside this one here. So you're going to go ahead and pop that guy off by sliding it forward and just pulling apart on the cover here. To expose your fuses, and it's going to be the 40 amp fuse. You're going to go ahead and just pull that out. You can go ahead and remove your seat as well, and that's just going to be your Phillips screw. Pull that out and pull your seat off. You can go ahead and stick the screw for the seat back in the hole that it came out of, just so you don't lose it. Alright, next step, we're going to remove the 2 screws on both sides of your rear taillight. Once you got those screws out, you're going to go ahead and disconnect your stock taillight. And by doing that, you're just going to pry up on the little gray harness. Let's work it loose. That guy comes off. And our next step is going to be to disconnect the two turn signal wires on your stock taillight base. And to do that, you're just gonna, there's a little tab right there, you just want to press it and pull out. There's a gray one and a black one. Same thing on the black, push and pull out, and that's going to free up our existing wires. And the next step is to remove the base plate, and to do that it's going to be that Phillips screwdriver screw there, another bolt. So go ahead and loosen that up. Okay, so that guy comes out, and the way this is held on, you sort of got to lift up a little bit until it pops out. Okay, we'll pull that straight through. Make sure the harness passes through those two openings. And now you just have left is your existing harness. And we're actually going to be removing this harness, and we're going to be installing the new harness from Moons, which comes with all their plugs ready to go. And it also has self-adhesive tape on the back, so you just pull that out, and you're going to reroute it the same way as the existing harness. So here's underneath the fender, and the harness is sort of tucked behind a tab here, and then it runs up underneath the fender, and those wires come out through the fender and run right along underneath the seat. We're going to be unplugging this guy as well as the two turn signal wires, and we'll be removing this, and with our new harness, that's going to be these three plugs that will go back into there. So next I'm just going to unplug the three wires that we no longer need. And that's going to be this larger one, which is going to pop out of the base. This gray you pull back. And that just unplugs like so. We're going to do this one as well. As well as the gray. Okay. So our next step is we're going to cut the zip tie that's holding this down, as well as pop this guy out. And then we're going to fish this wiring harness through the fender and remove it from underneath. Or fish this guy back through the hole and out the bottom. So you're just going to wiggle and yank that guy right out of there. Those just pop out. You can get yourself a set of new plugs. I guess they're like zip tie cable holders. You can buy those like on Amazon if you want to replace it to make it look stock. And then we're just going to fish these wires back down through the hole. Let's see. So we're just fishing these guys down and out, back through the fender. Alright, so you're gonna basically what you're doing is yank on this harness until it comes loose. You can grab the front wires and pull it towards the back, and that's going to come loose. It's just held on with tape. So we're not going to use the existing harness anymore. We can put that to the side. So you can kind of see it did leave a lot of tape residue. So what we're going to do is kind of just take a rag, and I'm actually going to put it right next to where the existing one was, just to kind of get a grip onto, you know, the fender better, rather than put it over the old stuff. And you're not going to see it, so you know, you'll never have to worry about it. So once you get your bottom of your fender clean to your liking, what we're going to do is opposite as our removal process. We're going to fish these 3 wires through the hole in the front side of the rear fender, and we're going to leave this guy loose for now until we're ready to get the tape peeled back and put into position. And then basically on our opening of our rear fender, it's going to be just this single wire, or I'm sorry, single harness, which is going to plug directly into the new taillight base. Alright, so rather than trying to fish the wires up through the bottom blindly, you can actually fish them right through the same way you removed them. So we're going to stick this harness through first, followed by the rest of it. So that's going to go all the way through, and we're going to go ahead and make our connections. Back into our stock connections. So hang tight. One thing I had left out was on our existing base plate, the gray connector was our left turn signal and the black was our right. And if you follow the harnesses that are coming from the bike, it's also got a gray and a black, so we know our gray is going to be left side and black is going to be right. Now on the Moon's harness, they're not really marked, but the base plate did come with, or I'm sorry, the taillight came with instructions which says that the green wire is left and the brown wire is right. So judging off of this harness, we only have one brown wire, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be the right side, and the other will be the left, followed by the large that only goes into the one large receptacle. So let's plug these back in. And like I said, we're going to go brown on black and purple and black into the left side, and the larger part of the harness is going to go back in here like so. Lock it down with the gray, and these just snap back into place. And if they end up if it ends up being that they're not in the correct orientation, we'll go ahead and switch those around, but we'll find out once we put everything together and test it. So on our new base plate, it's got the circuit board already with it. It came as a kit. Moon sells it as a kit, or you can buy them separately. And these have basically all your circuits that you're going to plug in. So with your new taillight, It comes with 3 plugs. The white is going to go into this left side here, and it's got a green wire and a brown wire. Your green is going to be your left, and your brown will be your right, and those only fit into one size in the board here. And then our wire coming off of the bike is going to be this white one, so we're going to route that through the new base, and the base is going to attach the same way that the stock one did, with that one Phillips head screw right through the center. So the way this tail light hooks on, it's got this little raised piece here on the tail light base, and what that does is hook right around this little lip here on the bottom. So once you get your wire through the base, you're going to line that up. And the base hooks on, you're kind of going to wiggle it down into place until you can line it up with that center screw. And then you're going to go ahead and just reinstall the base plate screw. See here. You gotta find the tab there. You can feel it from the other side with your finger. It's just one of those little janky little tabs. So once you got that guy nice and snugged down in there, your base plate's good to go, and you can start plugging the wires in. So as mentioned, the white is going to plug into there. So on the back of our new Moon's tail light, like I said, it's got 3 plugs coming off of it. Your larger one fits in the only larger slot on the back of the new tail light base. And you got your green wire, which is going to be for your left turn signal, and the brown for your right. And then now we'll go ahead and mount our tail light to the base, and you're going to go ahead and use the 2 screws that you removed from your stock tail light. Okay, just kind of line that guy up. Snug these guys down, left and right. Alright, our next step is we're going to plug back in the fuse and test her out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I got the fuse plugged back in, so we're going to go ahead and give this a little test. Turn the bike on. And looks like we've got a tail light. Let me go ahead and try the brake. Brake light is working. I'm going to go ahead and do the right turn signal. And left turn signal. And hazards. So it looks like everything's working. The last and final step would be to just make sure your adhesive strip on the bottom of the fender is all set, and you're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and list the parts in the description, and let me know if you have any questions. So now we don't have the big old bulky stock signals, and we got a nice clean look. Let me know if you have any questions later.